Greetings, exiles, and I continue my journey. Let's see what interesting things I've found. Best mechanic. Easy money. Unexpected. It would be correct to sell this key, but let's see what I get. Maybe they'll be content. Scam. And another mechanic for printing divine orbs. Very good. Well, how is my best friend General Gravicious doing? Very interesting. I can actually use this gem in my build. But it is better to sell it because with this currency you can buy a lot of good items. Many viewers think that all my currency is just lucky drops, but in fact it is not. Also, it is a lot of time spent and a lot of good drops that are also worth a lot. So luck is not the main thing. You know what? Screw everything I told you earlier. Luck is everything. Sometimes lucky all the time. I've earned a lot of currency and it's time for shopping, but before that I'd like to tell you about my atlas, because many of you might be interested. After a little experimentation, my final atlas looks like this. And this is the syndicate for Lucky Gravicious. Strongboxes for fun and random divine orbs and destructive play with Scarabs for a stable income. Overall, I'm happy with this strategy, although it's not very consistent. But the main thing is that it's fun with dopamine explosion. Alright, let's buy upgrades. I'll start with gems. I need new armor and one of my ships brought me this one. T2 life and spell suppression and some resistance. And a free suffix and prefix. I think this will be an upgrade. Benchcraft. And lucky exalted slam. Not the most useful modifier, but it could be worse. And 6 links. Done. Timeless jewel. To find the right lethal pride, use this website. Or path of building. You need to look for these modifiers. Watcher's Eye. I also need Ancestral Vision for ailments immunity. What? No way. I'm certainly not paying 9 divine orbs for this unique jewel. The prices in this league, it's crazy. Large cluster. I was gonna tell you how to craft one of these clusters, but I decided not to do it. Because whenever I talk about cluster crafting, there are always a lot of comments from viewers that they spent a lot of currency and ended up with nothing. So if you are a beginner, it is much easier for you to buy this item, and if you have limited currency, you can buy a cheaper cluster for 9 passive skills. Cluster crafting is quite complex and has a lot of nuances that new players can get confused about, and I wouldn't want to turn from zero to hero into a boring crafting video. Intuitive leap. A new helmet. And a new ring. And the final purchase is a cool sword. Pretty expensive, but it's worth it. Again, if you're on a tight budget, you can buy something cheaper. That's it. I'm ready. I'll start with the skill tree. And new gear. Very good. Oh yes, I completely forgot. It's important. That's it for sure now. Let's test the new build. We need to get the last of our void stones. To be honest, this should have been done earlier, but I'm not the best player and I like to fix my skill issues with DPS. Just add more damage and you are now a god gamer. No good loot. Sag. And 6th slot for my map device. In the new League, T17 maps are much easier and it is immediately felt. No problem. I know that many of my viewers have problems with opening the last slot for the map device. So I want to give you a little advice. Always use the fortress map, because there the boss is very easy and actually it does nothing. You can also use the Scarab to make the T17 map even easier. Back to the maps, because I spent almost all my currency and there are more improvements to come. Cool. My first nameless seer. Nothing interesting. It happens. I've been thinking a lot about a new currency earning strategy, but unfortunately I couldn't come up with anything cool. I've tried a few different strategies. Like this. But nothing that interests me, and I want to do it all the time. To be honest, all I want to do is mindlessly spin Gravicious and open strongboxes. Also, Atlas runners from town are a very fun mechanic and they often give good loot, so I want to maximize them. But to do that I need a lot of gold. And also maps. So I modified my Atlas a bit. I kept the Syndicate and the strongboxes. By the way, I don't have a gambling addiction. I also added altars, because they add more monsters to the map and that in turn gives us more gold. Also, altars are a very cool mechanic. Isn't it? By the way, strongboxes also spawn a lot of monsters that drop a lot of gold. And I also added nodes with increased effect of explicit modifiers for more loot and more gold, of course. Overall, I am happy with the result. On average, I spend 3 to 3.5 minutes per map and get about 13,000 gold. Maybe this is not the fastest way to get gold, but it is enough for me. In addition to gold, I also get good loot. Very good loot. It's not mage blood, of course, but it's not bad either. It's all pure skill and 0 luck. Probably many of you are wondering, how many divine orbs per hour does this strategy bring? But I don't know the answer to this question, and most importantly, I don't care. The main thing is that it is 100% fun per hour. So far the start of the league is very good for me, but that's not the main thing. The new league is very cool and interesting, as well as the mechanics of the league. At the beginning I didn't like it very much, because while you have a small town you won't get much profit, but when you improve it to the maximum level, the fun begins. Although gold is quite a big problem, and to effectively use the town you need a lot of gold. Also, the build is just fire, especially when I invested a bit in it. But this is just the beginning, and there are many more interesting improvements to come. more damage, more speed, and survivability. And of course I will continue to experiment with Atlas. Maybe I can find some profitable but interesting strategy, which I will tell you about. But for now, I'll be saying goodbye, because I need to earn gold because my workers in the town need to pay wages. I hope you liked this video and found it useful. Also, I will be very grateful for your likes and subscription. Bye everyone, and see you in the new video.